Well, ladies and gentlemen, the mask just fell off. Adam Schiff, the same man who spent years pretending to defend democracy, he just gave away the entire game on live TV. He admitted it. He said the quiet part out loud. The Democrats, they don't want checks and balances. They want control. And now it's all coming undone. President Trump, back in the Oval Office, is warning Republicans to act before it's too late. Senator Ron Johnson is sounding the alarm. The left is getting ready to nuke the filibuster the moment they get the chance. And Ted Cruz, well, he's calling it exactly what it is, a full-blown civil war inside the Democratic Party. And you can see the panic. Schiff's eyes give it away. The fake calm, the forced smile, the bug eyes, right? Drop a bug eyes if you see what I'm saying here. He knows what's coming because if the filibuster collapses, the Democrats' entire power play collapses right along with it. This isn't politics as usual. This is a warning shot for the entire country. The Democrats built the very trap that they're falling into, and Trump just told the GOP to pull the trigger first. So buckle up, guys, because tonight I'm breaking down exactly what Schiff just admitted, what President Trump and Cruz are planning next, and why this moment could decide the balance of power in America for the next 50 years. Hit the like button and subscribe. You see, guys, Democrats, they've been playing the same game for decades, okay? When Republicans control the Senate, suddenly the filibuster is sacred. A cornerstone of democracy, they call it, a noble tool to preserve balance, to protect minority rights. But the second Democrats take the reins, the same filibuster becomes a Jim Crow relic. You guys remember Barack Obama, 2013, 2020, 2022, calling it racist, outdated, a tool of oppression? Hakeem Jeffries, too. You know, Timu Obama, Walmart Obama, Hakeem Jeffries preaching that the filibuster was designed to block progress. It's the same script, guys, just flipped depending on who's in charge. And so when they need to stall conservative judges, they wave the flag of democracy. But when it's time to ram through trillion-dollar spending bills or rewrite the electoral map, suddenly democracy requires destroying the very rules that built the Senate. It's not principle, guys. It's power dressed up as virtue. The host of the original video said it best. Democrats only defend the filibuster when it benefits them. When it doesn't, they torch it and blame racism for cover. That's the double standard. And Schiff just confirmed it with his own mouth. So now I want to talk about the very moment that set the internet on fire. During his Senate campaign interview, Adam Schiff, he was asked point blank whether he would vote to end the filibuster. His answer, I would be happy to do away with it, but it depends on the reason. Now think about that. He's not defending a constitutional principle. He's calculating political advantage. Schiff says it's fine to nuke the filibuster to expand freedoms, but wrong if Republicans do it to raise healthcare costs. That's not morality. That is manipulation. You see, guys, the host called it conditional virtue. Schiff is saying we can cheat if it's for the right cause. Ours, right? It's the same twisted logic that the left uses for censorship, for lawfare, even for election rules. Rules for thee, but not for me. And so when Adam Schiff said it out loud, you could almost hear the panic behind that polished grin because the truth accidentally slipped out. And once it's out, you can't stuff it back in. Now, you've worked way too hard for too many years to leave your future to chance. And if you're honest, you've probably said it before. When I finally retire, I'll be ready. But are you really? This is why I partnered with Noble Gold Investments, because they help people keep that promise to themselves. They'll walk you through exactly how to protect your IRA or 401k with physical gold and silver stored securely in your name. Now, most people who learn how it works say the same thing. That just makes sense. And that's why so many Americans right now are calling 877-646-5347, or they're visiting RonYatesGold.com to download their free wealth protection kit. Because the best retirement plan isn't built on hope, it's built on action. And taking action today ensures that you'll never have to break that promise. Now, here's where the real contrast becomes crystal clear, folks. Republicans, God bless them, still think they're playing chess by the old rules. They talk about decorum, Senate traditions, restraint, but while they're playing by the book, the Democrats have set the rule book on fire and they're using it as kindling for their next power grab. Every time the GOP tries to preserve norms, the left bulldozes them. They don't hesitate. They don't blink. They just push. And when Republicans finally resist, Democrats cry threat to democracy. It is gaslighting on a national scale. The host nailed it in the source video. Republicans act like referees while Democrats act like the players who bought their own whistle. Now, one side is focused on the fairness and the other side is focused on domination. And this isn't about party politics anymore. This is about survival. So Ted Cruz and Ron Johnson, they have been warning about this for months, saying if Republicans don't match that intensity, they're going to lose the entire country piece by piece, because restraint without strength isn't virtue. It is surrender. And the GOP has been surrendering for far too long. Democrats don't respect the rules. They exploit them. They'll block a Republican bill with filibuster fairness. Then they'll turn around and call the same rule racist the moment that it's in their way. It's total hypocrisy. It's so blatant that you could see it from space. And this is exactly why Trump, Cruz, and Johnson are so united right now, telling the GOP to wake up before it's too late. Remember when Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema stood their ground? They were the only Democrats with enough backbone to say no to nuking the filibuster under Biden. They held the line when the radicals screamed racism and obstruction. They saved the Senate from becoming a one-party machine. But where are they now? Gone, exiled, shunned by their own party. Joe Manchin is out of Washington, D.C. Kyrsten Sinema is politically isolated. The message is very clear. There's no room for dissent in the modern Democratic Party. If you don't kneel to the Republican wing, they will erase you. And that is what Schiff's comments revealed. The so-called moderates are gone. The guardrails are gone. And the people who are left holding the steering wheel, well, they're the same crowd calling to burn it all down. Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, they were the last safety valve before the Democrats went full nuclear. And now, with them out of the picture, nothing stands between Adam Schiff and the total filibuster collapse. Now, President Trump isn't mincing words anymore. He's saying exactly what millions of Americans are thinking. Act now or lose everything. Because the truth is, Republicans finally hold the cards. They control the Senate, the House, and the White House. And President Trump knows exactly what happens if they waste that power. The Democrats will bide their time, get back in, and nuke the filibuster the second that they can. That's why President Trump's message is simple. Do it first. Do it for America. He's calling for a proactive strike. Use the power while you have it to protect the nation's foundation, reinforce the Supreme Court, block radical statehood plans for D.C. and Puerto Rico, secure election integrity, and pass America First legislation that actually lasts. He's not saying abuse power. He's saying use power wisely. Because the left already showed us they'll weaponize everything, the DOJ, the media, the courts, to enforce their own agenda. Trump's strategy? Take away their ability to do it again. Even Ron Johnson said it. The GOP is facing big trouble if they ignore this warning. It's time to be smart, not soft, because in Washington, power unused is power lost. Now, when one piece of your Medicare plan goes wrong, everything else starts falling apart. Billing, prescriptions, appointments. That is why I partnered with Chapter. They fixed the first piece so that your whole Medicare coverage stays in balance. Now, one of our viewers, she said, Chapter saved me from a chain reaction that could have cost thousands. So let me ask you, do you want the dominoes to fall, or do you want to do what most people already are and stopping it in time? Now, most people, they're already calling the phone number right there at the bottom of your screen, or they're visiting askchapter.org/Ron. That phone number again is 909-563-8279. Oh, and just listen to what real viewers are saying right now. So Lenora Hand said, Ron, I called Chapter and they are saving us $2,400 for 2026. Thank you. Blessings, Lenora, Texas. All right, now, I don't know how much you might save. You might already be on the best plan, but you'll never know if you don't call right now. All right, so let's get back to what's happening in Washington. So now, here's a chilling part, because history always repeats itself. The Democrats will regain power one day, whether it's 2028 or 2032. And when they do, the old guard is gone. The radicals will be in full control, and they will burn through every safeguard that's left standing. They have already said it out loud. End the filibuster, pack the Supreme Court, make D.C. and Puerto Rico new states to lock in permanent Senate majority, rewire the Constitution under the banner of equity. That's not a conspiracy, okay? That's their stated plan. You could already hear it in their speeches. You could see it in their bills. And now, thanks to Schiff, they have already admitted it. The host in the original clip called it a political extinction event. Because once Democrats rewrite the rules, there's no going back. I'm telling you right now, Republicans won't just lose votes. They will lose the very ability to fight back. That is why President Trump's urgency matters. This isn't about revenge. It's about prevention. Either we act now or we watch the other side rewrite the American system from the inside out. Now, let's be honest. This isn't your grandparents' Democratic Party anymore. The moderates are gone. The centrists are silent. What's left is a radicalized machine powered by social media mobs, billionaire donors, and activist prosecutors who see politics as war. I mean, look at the evidence, guys. Jay Jones threatening Republicans on stage and getting applause from the crowd. Letitia James weaponizing the justice system to bankrupt President Trump and pretty much anyone who supports him. Then, of course, the Department of Justice dragging its feet on violent protests, but sprinting to charge conservatives for speaking out. This is not normal politics. This is ideological capture. The radical left has already taken over every lever of the Democrat machine, and they don't even hide it anymore. They're just blatant about it. Adam Schiff's comments aren't an accident. They're a reflection of this takeover. He's repeating the new party line: power is moral if we hold it. Resistance is justice if we define it. Democrat voters cheer when their side breaks rules because they've been conditioned to believe that it's righteous. They see lawfare, censorship, and silencing opponents as defending democracy. That's how dangerous this has become. So when Adam Schiff smiles and says that he would happily end the filibuster, what he's really saying is, the radicals are in charge now and compromise is dead. So this kind of brings us to the next uncomfortable truth. Bipartisanship is dead. Period. Bipartisanship is dead. The old notion that Democrats and Republicans can meet halfway, gone. One side wants to govern, the other side wants to dominate. So every time Republicans reach across the aisle, Democrats bite the hand that feeds them. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. Just look at the record. GOP senators helped pass Biden's infrastructure bill, and what did they get in return? Accusations of racism and obstruction anyway. The host said it perfectly. Bipartisan bills are cruddy promises that please lobbyists but solve nothing for Americans. They're participation trophies in a rigged game. And let's not kid ourselves, guys. Democrats have zero interest in shared governance. They proved it when they kicked out their own members for daring to talk about moderation. Adam Schiff's comments about doing away with the filibuster for the right reasons is proof of this. This is not about cooperation, it's about control. So the real question becomes, should Republicans keep playing a game that the other side has already rigged? And so this is where everything comes to a head, okay? Because all of the warnings, Adam Schiff's confession, Cruz's outrage, Johnson's alarm, Trump's directive, they're not just talk. They are the final wake-up call for the Republicans who still believe patience will fix this, but it won't. The host in the original video didn't mince words. You got to do it before they do it. That's the message. Republicans, they have a rare window of power, the presidency, both chambers, and if they squander it in the name of civility, well, they're going to regret it for a generation. Now, this is not about revenge. It is about survival. Trump's saying it openly. Use your majority to lock in America First policies that cannot be undone when the pendulum swings back. Secure the courts, reinforce election laws, build walls, not just on the border, but around the Constitution itself. Because when Democrats take power again, and they will, they won't hesitate to rip apart everything standing in their way. The filibuster, the Supreme Court, the balance of the Senate, it's all on the chopping block. So if Republicans want to save the republic, they can't sit politely and hope for bipartisanship. They got to act now with courage, clarity, and conviction before the left burns through every break that we have left. And so that brings us to the bigger picture, the culture war beneath it all. This is not just about legislation or Senate rules. It's about a clash of worldviews. The left is thriving on outrage, emotion, and division. Every crisis is an opportunity for more control. Every slip, like Schiff's, reveals their obsession with dominance. Meanwhile, Republicans have been playing defense for a decade, way too afraid to call it what it is, a zero-sum war for the future of the United States. Democrats weaponize feelings, Republicans cite facts, but emotion wins elections. And if the GOP doesn't start fighting with the same passion, the same conviction, they're going to end up losing the narrative no matter how right they are. And so this is why Trump resonates, because he fights back. He doesn't apologize for America's strength. He amplifies it. And that's what this moment demands. Not hesitation, not compromise, but clarity. The filibuster isn't just a Senate rule. It is the last visible line between American balance and one-party rule. Schiff showed us what happens when that line breaks. Chaos, corruption, and collapse. So here's the bottom line, folks. Schiff slipped, and in that moment, he told the truth. Democrats don't want democracy. They want domination. And for once, Republicans see it coming. Trump's plan, Cruz's warnings, Johnson's urgency, they're all converging into one message. Act now or lose forever. This is the turning point. The Democrats' filibuster facade just collapsed in plain sight. The question now is, will Republicans have the backbone to respond before it's too late? Hit the like button, share this video if you believe that America deserves leaders who fight as hard to defend this country as the left fights to destroy it. Because after what Schiff just admitted, this isn't politics anymore. This is survival.